Hello everyone, it's me, Emelena, and today I want to talk about, well, having a depressive episode, because, I released a video, I don't know how long ago it would be. I'm recording, I guess it was the day before yesterday, but I probably won't release this until a few days after I record it. So the last video I released was about me hearing a new voice in my head and dealing with that, but I also included a lot of stuff about my self-esteem and how I feel about myself, and kind of alerted a couple of people. I got a couple of text messages from my friends, and a couple of people in my Discord said it was really depressing, and I realized, well, the reason why it's depressing is because I'm depressed. I'm definitely experiencing a depressive episode right now. My self-esteem is in the fucking gutter. I'm trying to work on it and trying to bring it back up, but I feel really hopeless right now. No matter what I do, I'm gonna be sad. And I am taking an antidepressant, and I'm gonna be honest with you, dog, I don't think that shit's working. It's an antidepressant I was on in the past, and it worked before, but things change. You get older, your body chemistry changes, and things just stop working. When I was taking sertraline, which is basically just Zoloft, it's a generic for Zoloft, that shit just stopped working, and it kept overheating me and making me feel uncomfortable, so I just stopped taking it, right? Currently, I feel like no matter how hard I try, I can't dig myself up out of this hole. But I do feel sometimes I wake up and I just don't want to deal with life anymore. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Not wanting to deal with life. You ever feel that way? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's life is just a big part of what's contributing to my depression is just how hard it is to live in this world. How hard it is to make money, and how hard it is to survive, food and shelter and clothes and everything that your basic needs cost money. And when you're incapable of working like myself, well, what are you supposed to do? You have to depend on other people. I depend on my boyfriend, and that's really sad in itself that I can't work or do something for myself. I do make these YouTube videos, but spoiler alert, they don't make me very much money, okay? You gotta be making good views and have a big channel in order to make a lot of money off of advertising. And I just don't have that. So basically, my income is basically zero. And I live in a world that puts value on you based on how much money you make. Let's be real. That's how capitalism values you. If you don't make money, then you're worthless. And I'm still brainwashed by that system to where I think that if I don't contribute to my society and to my household, then I'm a worthless individual. And it's 10 times worse now that I'm suffering through depression. And I guess you would call it a depressive episode. I don't know. I mean, I just have depression. It's part of my diagnosis. And this is what it's like. I guess the amount of people who were worried about me due to my last video made me be well, maybe I just need to do a follow-up. I know that there's many people out there going through the same thing, and maybe there's a chance that they might see one of my videos and feel less alone. And that's really what I do this for. I do this so that people don't feel alone in the world, because feeling alone is exactly how you end up. If you feel alone and isolated and you have no friends, you feel like no one understands you, it's just a hop skipping away from ideation, which is a hop skipping away from actually attempting or following through. I don't want people to get there. I know myself, I'll probably never get there because I just live with being unhappy all the time. And one of my biggest problems is that I'm constantly comparing myself to others. And I made a video about this, about how comparison is the thief of joy, right? And I still do it. It's hard for me to acknowledge how much progress I've made and how good I'm doing without also downing myself and telling myself that you still haven't done enough. For instance, I was talking to my boyfriend last night. I actually worked out twice yesterday because I had such bad food cravings last night that I just started working out. I just started doing squats and crunches and push-ups, and I was just you know what? I don't want to think about food. I want to think about, losing the weight that I currently have that I believe is too much. And I was telling my boyfriend how bad I felt. I get physically pained sometimes at my sugar cravings because I'm addicted to sugar 100%, right? And my boyfriend was saying I have ironclad discipline because every day I eat a pretty low calorie count in order to stay in a deficit, and I constantly fight cravings for sweet stuff, which if I asked my boyfriend, he would take me to go get the stuff that I'm craving, right? I want fast food, he would take me to go get it. If I want candy, he'd go get it for me. And it's I continuously reject it. And he was saying the amount of discipline that I have is truly amazing. And he was like, you know, you're doing way better than me. And of course, the first thing I had to say to that was, well, you're not even trying. And because he's not trying to lose weight. He's not trying to watch his diet, even though he should, because I don't want him to die of fucking heart disease, but he doesn't want to listen to me. But
well, I mean,
I'm just saying, well, like, he's not on a diet the way I am. He's not on a lifestyle change the way I am, right? And he was just like, so do you think it like devalues what you're doing just because the person you're comparing yourself to isn't trying? And I really sat there and I thought, yeah, like, why the fuck am I comparing myself to my boyfriend and to everybody around me? You know, like, I just don't get it. It's just such a trap for depression and sadness. And I know this video probably seems like it's not going anywhere, but like I said, I just wanted to talk about what it's like to be depressed, what it's like to feel like this, to feel so isolated and alone. And, you know, the reason why my video the other day depressed so many people is because I am truly depressed. Like, I'm going to have to ask my doctor for a different antidepressant. And this is like one of the things that happens when you have mental disorders, is you have to go through this cycle of trying this, trying that, trying that. You're basically a guinea pig until something works out. So over and over again, I'm finding myself in this trap of antidepressants not working or only working for a little while, and then I'm back to being depressed. And it's really, well, depressing, as you might guess, because I just want to feel better. And you know what? Antidepressants not working is another thought trap that I catch myself in, because I start thinking, okay, well then if the antidepressants aren't working, then that just means that I'm sad because I should be sad, right? I'm just sad because I need to be sad because where I'm at in life, my station in life is not good, and I deserve to feel like miserable and shitty over it. And that's just another thought trap where I just start going down and down and down, thinking about what I haven't accomplished yet. You know, being 37 years old and still hating yourself is miserable in itself. But also realizing you're 37 and you haven't accomplished nearly as much as your peers around you is really, really, it just puts you in a dark place. I feel humiliated because at my age, I don't have anything to show for it. Like, I don't have a house, I don't have a nice car. Because of my disorder and because of bad choices in life, I'm kind of in a place where I feel like I'm existing and not living. I feel like I need to break out of this constant, like, sadness and this constant cycle of doing nothing and get somewhere. But anytime I try to work, I have mental breakdowns, and I don't know, it's just really hard for me to leave my house too. Like, leaving my house is a huge challenge by myself. Like, I can't really do it yet. I've tried a few times and it's still very, very difficult for me to leave my house by myself. And so that alone keeps me from working. But when I actually have jobs, I make it like, what, a year before I have a massive mental breakdown and sometimes end up back in a mental institution. I'm not going to self-harm. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to do, self-delete, because YouTube will demonetize me for saying that. I guess you're not allowed to use those words on YouTube, which is absolute bullshit, by the way, because why aren't you allowed to talk about real world issues on here? Why aren't you allowed to talk about something that's really affecting you or others, you know? Like, it's weird. But yeah, I'm not going to self-delete, and all I want is to be healthy and happy and to live a life worth living.